I literally have fucking part numbers stored in my head.
For what? What? Give me a part number.
13409 is the fucking, I don't know what it is anymore. I think it's the powder funnel for 9mm.
See that little yellow square?
Yeah, I see that yellow square now. There it is.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Isyour6covered, and today we have some of the best, most experienced people on the planet. We're going to talk about Dillon650s. We're going to talk about basically how this chat started was, I'm looking over here at the wrong camera. We started a conversation on a text, one of those group texts that drives everybody nuts, and bantering back and forth on what you really have to have, some of your items that are must-haves, not needed, requirements, nice to have kind of deal. So let's say hi to gentlemen out here. Let's start with SoCal. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, Rick? How's it going, everybody? Is there anybody even out there? I don't have that window open right now, but
yeah,
if there is, how you doing, guys? And yeah, thanks for having me on. I know a little bit about 650. I used one for like 20 minutes once, but hey, I also saved 15% on my car insurance.
Awesome. And next up, we have Bald and Curious, competitive shooter, major reloader of all sorts. So how you doing, buddy?
I would be better if you didn't mute me.
I had to mute you because, you know, I didn't want whatever was going on back there. We do need to move the bag of Doritos over. We're going to get in trouble.
No bag of Doritos?
Yeah, using logos without permission, that's a no-no.
That's it. We're going straight
to Doritos.
So,
all right, well, I have a 650 for what, 2 years about, and it's an awesome machine. Now I'm just saving my pennies for a 1050.
There you go.
I mean, buy once, cry once. I'm that kind of guy. You know, I had them all. I tried them from. I still have my Lee turret press. I still use that for the calibers. I only do you know, if I only got to load a couple of rounds or something. But you know, 650 is you know, chugging at it every week.
All right, so let's start with parts. So basically, I don't know. Should we say his name? A buddy of ours is basically looking at getting a 650, and we were tossing back some of the parts, basically saying, no, you don't need that. You need this for sure. I kind of disagreed with some of the guys, and at the end of the day, hopefully he gets everything, but probably not going to happen. But thanks for showing up. So what would you start with the roll handle? I mean, this thing is awesome to have.
Well, I think for one, basically you're gonna want to start with the press. That's basically where you're gonna need to start. So there's your first. What are they? $550, $600 now.
605.
All right. So the press, you're gonna need that. It already comes with a handle. I don't believe the dies come with it. So if you're new to reloading, you're going to need to buy, you know, whatever dies you need for whatever calibers, obviously.
It came with one set.
So let's say you're starting with one caliber you want to load.
I don't think it comes with
just say
9mm. I think it's a 1050 that comes with a set of dies.
Yeah, it does. The 650 does not. I'm fairly confident in that. So let's say we're setting up to do 9mm just for the sake of ease, and you don't have to deal with the swaging aspect of it. Oh, Val, your puppy is so adorable. So my one main recommendation, aside from the press itself, and then going to the expenditure of the dies, which is like another, I don't know what it is. I think the Dillon dies that are non-carbide are like $70-$80. Would be the strong mount, which is a pair of steel plates that kind of sit in this triangular kind of pattern that you bolt the machine to, that it stands off the surface that you mount it to about 8 inches, and keeps the ram from butting into or kind of obstructing itself from functioning correctly. You know, Rick's got one there. If yeah, you can see the thing there. That's what he's pointing at. That in itself is gold. To me, this is my opinion, because when you mount the machine to a table, the footprint of the base of the machine itself is very small, and it has a tendency to kind of wobble back and forth because it's not very wide. It's just a little, you know, probably 5-inch square. The strong mount spreads that out to about a 10-inch square, which gives it much more stability. And with that, I'll let somebody else talk for a minute.
I completely agree, but what I would say you start with is the actual base, the table or whatever you decide to mount it to, something that's really sturdy, preferably mounted to the wall. What I used old kitchen cabinets from the remodel job I did, and I used those, mount them to the wall right in my garage, makes it nice and sturdy, and mount a strong mount, and then the press right on top of it. And also, once you have the strong mount, it puts it. I'm 6'3", and it puts it in perfect position when you're standing, and that's my preferred method when I reload.
Yeah, I agree with that. All the reloading benches I've built in the last 7-8 years have been two. I mean, you described something to us earlier, but I've always used two pieces of 3/4-inch plywood that I screw one through the bottom into the next one above to tighten everything and squish it all together. Just a nice thick 1.5-inch, roughly laminated, thick-ass, sturdy piece of wood that's not going to flex under pressure. And again, like you said, screw it to walls. And if you can stick this whole thing into a corner, it's even better because you have 2 points of contact on a wall where the bench is just not going to move at all. That's a great point.
I agree too. And I just measured my bench, and it's 36 inches. I have the strong mount, and I'm 5'8", so I'm not very tall. And it works pretty damn well. Here, I did mount it before I got the strong mount, and I did have to notch the wood a little bit in order for the ram as you're pressing down to go through, but this should help here. You see a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, the strong mount only raises the machine about 8 inches. And so, I mean, it's not like a huge deal. And honestly, when I'm reloading, and it might be different for everybody else, but I never sit when I'm reloading. I'm always standing. And I like the handle for the reloader to basically be like shoulder height. So it's literally like all I have to do is straighten my arm out and then pull down. I find it the most comfortable.
And it works. It works well. Especially if you had a lower table, you definitely want to have it up in the air. What's nice about having the strong mount too is if you don't have it, this is basically sitting on your table. So it just takes up more space here where you can kind of put something underneath it or whatever. This to me is a must. It's not really a must if you're trying to go bare bones, but what a drastic change having a roller handle.
Absolutely, makes it a lot more ergonomic.
Yeah. Instead of getting that freaking your hands beat up. Now, if you don't buy this, does it come with the tube still, so you can at least load it? Do you know?
Yes. Yeah. The Dillon comes with the 650 rather comes with the case tube and the adapter. So you can fill the tube, and I think, you know, if we're talking about 9mm still, I think the tube will probably hold 25, 30
yeah, because that's
cases.
what separates it for sure from the 550, I think.
Yeah, that's what I do when I reload 45, because I don't shoot too much 45. So I saved all my small primer 45, and I don't even have a large pistol plate for the case feeder. So I just load them right in a tube. You know, fits about, I don't know, 20 of them or so. I usually only load like a couple hundred rounds.
It's been so long since I bought a 650. Doesn't it come with both of the primer case, the primer plates?
Yes, it does. It's just I don't want to deal with switching it over, because if like if I shoot 1,000 rounds of 45 a year, that's probably all, and it just I load 200-300 at a time. It's just not worth the hassle swapping all that over. So I just keep everything small primer. I haven't had an issue. If I'd be shooting competitively with the 45, it'd be a different story.
Matt's 2500 HD says just put $2,200 into the Dillon650. If you do it that way, you don't have to worry about it. You get everything you want then.
And the weird thing, well, I'm not even going to go into it. This is about the 650. So, all right. So we've established that you need a press, and that the strong mount is very, very strongly suggested. Needs to have, that's really all you need to have, other than dies. If you start to, you know, want to get into the convenience factor now, the quick change tool heads are great. Those are about 120 bucks a piece, and they do come with stands when you buy the actual quick change kit. So it comes with a cool little stand you can place your tool head on when it's not in use.
Don't have.
But yeah, that thing. And pretty much anything else beyond this is going to be luxury or an upgrade or an addition, I think. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
The bullet tray, I don't think you need that. It's nice to have. But like you said, the tool head's basically already done. Just having the ability not to switch it back and forth and take the dies out and start over kind of deal is definitely a plus. Yes, Pops, Dillon makes reloaders. Even though you have a 1050 and a 650, and I thought
this is all new to me. I've only been doing this like a couple weeks now, but
yeah, right.
And I know Dillon makes really cool sunglasses.
Sunglasses?
They make sunglasses and hats. They have hats and shirts.
I know they make a cool calendar.
They do have a really nice calendar. Okay, so with the quick change thing, I was helping an individual. The same individual that Rick was talking about earlier. We were kind of going over his parts list, and like he wanted to reload 9mm and 380, and a lot of the thing that's cool about the Dillon parts is much of them are interchangeable. So you can save money if you know there. I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe this. If you go to their website, you can order individual parts for these, what they call their caliber conversion kits. And so say like 9mm and 223. They use the same shell plate. They use the same case. I'm trying to think of the name of the part. And I'm like totally blanking on it. There is several bushings that fit in the top of the reloader that index the primer or the case feed tube that you can interchange with several other calibers. So there's a PDF. If you click
this piece right here, they come in small, medium, large.
Yeah, exactly.
So this will do.
And then there's also the piece. There's a thing in the top of the machine, like you're screwing that into the bottom. The thing on top, that little
the cup,
the arm that swings back and forth. There's a little cup that sits in there that is also very interchangeable with many of the calibers. There's tons of all these little parts that kind of overlap themselves. Whenever you buy a conversion kit, you'll end up with like 20 of the same things. So yeah,
like the green one will work for the 380, the 9,
and the 223, anything in that kind of small case size.
Come on.
So what I was going to say is, if you go to Dillon's website and you're interested in buying a caliber conversion, you can go, you click on the reloader. It's the very furthest link to the left. Click on that, and then you'll get a drop-down menu on the right. If you choose caliber conversion kit, and then scroll down to the very bottom of the web page, there is a PDF file that is their caliber conversion chart, and it will show you all the part numbers of all the different caliber conversions that they offer, and for each of the calibers. And you can kind of compare and contrast all these part numbers. And what I figured out for this one guy is, he wants to go from 9mm to 380. There's only 2 other things that he needed to buy to make that happen, but caliber conversion kits comes with like 9 things in it. So he would have had like 7 things that he already had, and all he needed was like these 2 things that only make up like literally half the price of the entire conversion kit. So that's one way to keep prices down if you're want to get all budgety.
If you want a nickel and dime, then blue is not for you. Let's put it that way. If you're gonna like really looking at saving $20 here and $20 there, it's really not worth it. You might have to look into something else.
There's that. And especially if you're budget grumpy, then don't buy a 1050. Where did Rick go?
You got a point there. I don't know. He was showing the press and disappeared.
That's awesome.
Isn't that his chat?
Yeah, I was going to say, all right, well, I guess we're done then. Right?
I don't know. Who's the moderator?
All right, well, I'll just keep talking, I guess. What? Oh, my wife's like, hi, hon. How you doing? Yes, please. She's going to get me a drink. Love this girl. The case feeder is 100% recommended. I think it's last time I saw the price on them were like $220, somewhere around there, and that speeds things up immensely. Instead of having to feed the machine cases, this thing like spits them out for you. Very handy. That's really what gives the machine its potential. When you're working the handle and reloading, this thing's feeding cases. So basically all you need to be doing is, keeping an eye on the machine, making sure that the cases look like they're adequately filled with gunpowder, looking for any residue on the shell plate that might indicate you're missing a primer, and feeding it bullets one at a time. And yeah, for the extra $200 and whatever it is, biggest bonus there is on the planet. And once you're at that point, you're at the best you can be with a 650. So the individual that I was working with this afternoon, who's interested in getting a 650, I think his initial entrance fee, so to speak, with one caliber change kit, the quick change, which is the powder hopper on top of the tool head, and to change tool heads, maybe Rick will show you in a second here on his, but the quick change kit, the cool handle, the press itself, and
that's the part you got to change.
Trying to think what else he had. A caliber conversion kit for 380, and The did I say the cool handle already? That was it.
Cool handle.
And the case eater. He was at right around $1,150. With all
Okay, I gotta
those.
ask a question. How much 380 does the individual shoot that he needs to reload it? Who the hell shoots so much 380?
Well, he bought the machine as a 9mm reloader, and he just wanted to be able to do 380 at the same time.
Okay.
And so many of the parts are the same, but it turned out that in order to take advantage of that quick change capability, you need one of the main parts in that caliber conversion kit is the powder funnel, which fits up in the die for the powder drop. It also bells the case, so it makes.
Actually, here's a perfect one right here. Actually, I'll get an empty one, so I don't spill.
The 9mm powder funnel works fine at 380 because it's the same damn caliber, but he wanted to be able to just take the thing off and put the new one on and go. So with 2 full caliber setups.
Rick, I don't want to be hated, but you're confusing the hell out of people with your video.
It's this one right here. That one.
Yes. Yeah, that's the powder funnel. The one on the left. You keep showing the case.
This one.
Yeah, the one in the top left. The little.
Which one are you talking about?
Yeah. You're pointing.
This one's the powder.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, right about.
The hell out of everybody.
Right at $1,200, $1,150. And he's going to be good to go for 2 calibers, and he'll be able to, once he gets the hang of it, he'll be able to run, 500, 600, 700 rounds an hour. And yeah, that's the beauty of the Dillon. You can turn it into a farming machine.
Only thing I don't like that I like better on the 1050 or the Dillon650 is the primer. It comes out and in, and if you don't use it, it doesn't cycle around and fall down into this tray right here.
Yeah, but that's an easy fix. Once you figure it out, all you have to do is you hold the pusher back while you're advancing up, and it just doesn't pick up next primer. It doesn't rotate the primer tray.
Yeah, I'll basically
it's easy to fix. If you go on eBay,
and then click here and go like this till I get
Rick, stop. Go up with the camera. The black thing right there. The black plastic thing. The one that makes the primer tray to turn. No, on the left. The primer tray. On the left and up.
Oh, primer tray?
No, the primer right there.
The magazine. No, see that black plastic thing?
Right there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thing. There's a guy on eBay that the machines that are the 2 parts, and if you have a problem and you don't want the primer circle to advance, you just slide it out, you run your press, and then you slide it back in.
Yeah, so there's that.
You really need to know how it works.
Yeah, that piece of steel that's sticking out.
It's a piece of plastic, yeah.
That thing right there.
Yeah, the plastic. The one where it moves, exactly.
Yeah, now you're talking.
He makes that 2 pieces, so you slide it out, and it doesn't touch the piece of steel, and it doesn't advance the little wheel that turns and puts a new primer in place.
That's what's clicking this piece right here.
Yep, exactly.
So I'll lower it down so you can see it. That's basically that piece right here, which.
Yep. So if you just hold it up, while you're advancing the press, it's not gonna turn the little wheel with the primers in.
Yeah.
But, you gotta keep an eye on it.
It's kind of a pain in the ass right there, like that. Yeah, that's cool. The lighting kit, which is basically this part here, and then this comes out. I tell you what, that sure helps a lot. Thanks to Pop's Quest on that one.
You go watch my video, you can make a lighting kit for like $5 yourself.
Mine was cheaper than that.
Well, mine was actually free because I had a leftover from a job.
Boom.
I just turn on lights. You know, lights work well around the environment where you're reloading. So, you know, I don't find a need for additional lighting. Just saying.
Hey, you're in Southern California. It works pretty easy for you. You guys got a lot of sun. Let me turn this damn camera. All right. Did it work? There we go.
Well, you're a fireman. You don't know what work is, so.
True. Well, you're in
Is anybody actually watching this?
I think there's like 6 people.
There's a bunch of people watching it. There's got to be at least 350.
There's 13.
13.
And we're 2 of them. So, yeah.
So what?
Anybody got
Hey,
any
Scott?
questions out in the side chat? Anybody have any interest in this?
Hell yeah, Ronnie Brown.
Yeah, people, please,
Crazy
ask
Foolery.
questions. It's not so bad.
Pop's Quest, Informed State of Mind. I mean, these are all great people. Well, except for mine as well, B. But other than that, just kidding, buddy. Just kidding. And
Leave Midas alone. He's the operator.
he's an operator for sure. Matt's 2500 HDs out there. Bald and Curious. And of course, you got the 76 High Boy reloading. I like watching his stuff. He's always reloading some shit. Every day.
I'm with Pop. This is a horrible chat.
Hayden Vaycock. What?
Well, it's not a horrible chat, but it's like we covered it all already. Now we're just like dead air.
That's it. That's all we needed to talk
We're
about.
done.
We're
Fuckers.
done. See you guys on the next video.
Well, I mean, we could talk about upgrades. I mean,
Hell
We
yeah.
could've-
Well, let's talk about
Sum it up
this.
in the first 10 minutes. Just buy a Dillon, buy once, cry once. That's it.
yep.
Bald and Curious, do you wish you would have just bought the 1050?
I'm really happy with the 650. Even if I ever buy 1050, I'm gonna keep my 650. I think it's a great companion to a 1050 if you ever go to that. And if you don't, and you just stick with the 650, there's nothing wrong with that as well.
Well, see, and I thought I was going to use after I bought the 650, I was going to use the Dillon Deal Square B, but that thing's been sitting up just hanging up there ever since I got the 650. So,
I'll give you $200 for it.
all right, let's do an auction then. 650. You got to pay for shipping though.
650 or Square Deal B?
The Square Deal B. I don't know. We get up high enough, maybe.
I'll give you $200. You pay the shipping.
Fuck that. That's more than $200.
You can send it via a Greyhound. I don't care.
Send it via Farmageddon.
There you go. That'll work.
I enjoy that thing, man.
I had a Square Deal.
I know
It's a great press. If you're just gonna do a pistol, there's nothing wrong with having that. If
All right. So
if you're not gonna do a rifle, just a pistol, that's a really good press. The only problem with that, you have to use the proprietary Dillon dies. You can't use any other dies. That's the only downside if you want to change calibers and whatnot. But you can crank up a lot of rounds on a Dillon Square Deal B.
Hell yeah.
Fast.
Look at this homemade feeder I made. Let's see. See this tube right here?
Yeah.
So each time you just grab a shell and then put it in. Put the bullet on this side, pull one out, bam, bam.
Yeah, well, that feeder's worthless.
It's nothing compared to this thing right here.
That feeder just depreciated the value of that press.
It's zip tied on, jackalope.
okay, so somebody named Philo. I've not seen this guy before, but cheers, Mr. Philo. He's saying, what's the best press for your first press? And I know what all you guys are going to say, so I'm going to contradict you from the get-go. My first press was a Dillon650, and the beauty of this machine is you could take the case tube off, and run it theoretically like a single stage press. You can put one case in at a time until you're familiar with the whole process. You can even run the tool head with just one die in it, and it will, you know, do what it needs to do and spit out. You know, let's say you just want to prime and, or not prime, but resize the case and take the old primer out. Just run it once and just keep running that one die until you're familiar with the way it feels, and then you can start adding dies, or you can even pull dies out and just use it as a you know, just for powder or just for bullet seeding or whatnot.
Well, let's put it this way: the best press is the one you can afford, because the reloading, the actual reloading process on the press, the learning curve is really not that steep. I mean, you can really teach it to a monkey in a couple of hours.
I learned how to do it.
What exactly you're doing. Once you figure out what exactly you're doing, it's really not that hard. Coming up with the recipes and length, over the length, and all that, that's a completely different animal. But just running the press and understanding what's going on, then you know what? If you're gonna buy a turret press today, and a year from now you can have enough money to buy a 650, I would say don't buy a turret press. Just wait a year and buy a 650.
Yep, I agree with that 100%.
It's just, I mean,
you'll buy one of these, and then you'll buy one of those, and then you'll buy one of these. And at the end of the day, you could have just bought that and been done with it.
Yep.
But you know what? You talk to some reloaders. I know there's a bunch out there. And this isn't considered reloading, they say. This is making bullets, because as long as everything's perfect and your dies are all set up, you can blast out a ton of ammo. Where the reloaders that are making like little small batches of, you know, say 50 rounds at a time, and the single stage press, and they're doing it all, and they enjoy doing it. That's more of an art where you're trying to build a recipe. But if you already have what you want to do, or you shoot a lot, this is the way to go if you can do it. And you will save money. If you go to Dillon, they have the calculator. Let's put it this way.
If you want to shoot a lot, you get a 650. If you're like a precision shooter, real precision shooter, then you probably run crap on a single stage, because you only do 50, 60 rounds, and you check for centricity, and you gauge every case and trim it and measure it and whatnot, because you're trying to get every 16th of an inch of accuracy you can get. Then it's a different ball game. But if
you're looking for surgical, like literally surgical, like within 1,000th of an inch uniformity amongst the, say, 20 cartridges. I would argue that the 650 or the 1050 will still do that, but it just takes user know-how. You can't just buy the machine and expect it to do that. You need to set the machine up to make it do that. And there's lots of things you can do to do that, but it's not going to come stock on the machine. You're going to have to learn the machine, learn the dies, learn how to use the dies, buy specific like I run Redding competition bullet seating dies that have micrometers built into them, so I can adjust the bullet seating depth as well as the crimp on it. But somebody else out there, Stump Greenwood SC, isn't the 650 a one-trick pony? Not at all. The beauty of the 650 amongst every other Dillon reloading press, this one's actually the most universal press, because it's the easiest to switch calibers. All you have to do is buy like this little hockey puck thing that slides in the top of it. You put your dies in, you lock them all into place, you get them where you want them, and literally you can pull one hockey puck off, put the next one on, assuming that the shell plate doesn't need to get changed out.
Here's the hockey puck. Hockey puck.
Well, that shows you guys don't know crap about hockey, because hockey puck is round. I hate to break it to you, but a hockey puck is round. That's so far away
It's
from
round
a
like your
hockey
bald
puck.
head. Shut up.
All right, so let's just refrain from slander, and we'll call it what it is. It's a tool head.
It's a tool head.
And
Kind of like
yeah,
tool.
as long as you're not changing out primers, because changing out the primers is just like it's easy. It's two screws and a couple of little flimsy this, that, and the others, but changing, let's say you're going from 223 to 9mm. Basically, all you need to do is just literally pull out that hockey puck, change the case feed adapter, and put a new hockey puck in, and you're good to go.
And you got to flip this over.
Oh, and that plastic thing. You're right. I forgot. I always forget about that thing.
And you got to change the carousel.
Oh, well, there's that too. But we're talking about things that take. Yeah,
once these are set up,
not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes tops.
Once these are set up, you're good to go. So this is already done, which is what makes it nice. Then you change like 3 little pieces, and boom. But going to 223 is still a pain in the ass because all the trimming and all that shit.
I'm not even going to go down that road.
Yeah. But going from 9mm to 40 is like 3 minutes tops. But it's
yeah, what Pop said. You can leave all your dies set up in the hockey puck. The hockey puck, so to speak, the tool head is really what it's called. I think they're about $45 a piece. If you buy what they call a quick change, it comes with the powder hopper die, and then say you're going from 9mm to 40 cal for that matter. You'd need a new shell plate, but they sell a conversion kit for the machine that comes with all the little knickknacks and doodads. I'm not going to go into the laundry list of what's in the box, but basically you set up a tool head and you can take it out of the machine, set it aside, put the new tool head in, and all you have to do is just change the shell plate, which is what kind of runs the cases around in a circle.
Here's what you got to change.
And you're good to go. It costs about, all told, if you want something convenient like that, it's right around, counting the dies, it's about $250 for the swap over. If all you want to do is just grab a new tool head, throw the shell plate in, and just run with it. And then when you get to changing out the tool, or what was I going to say, the primer thing, the thing that feeds the primers up into the machine, that comes with the 650. It's just going to the extent of having to pull the primer magazine out, pull the plate out, set the new one in, put the primer magazine back on. That's like a 1 minute process. So, I mean, it's pretty simple.
That's basically everything you need right there, besides the carousel and the tool head. It's simple.
I guess one thing you forgot is don't be afraid to buy used Dillon. Dillon's
absolutely
got their no BS policy.
Yep.
You send them all beat up piece of crap, missing parts, and for a couple of bucks, they'll turn it into brand new press. So if you find a good deal on eBay, or let's say a real estate sale or tax sale, garage sale, somebody's selling blue and they have no idea what it is because their grandfather passed away and they're just selling it because they don't know what it is, and you're gonna find a square deal B for $50, grab it.
Yeah, you're 100% right there. Dillon, except pretty much all their reloaders except for the 1050 come with a lifetime, no questions asked. They call it their no bullshit warranty. You can call them with any problem under the sun with their dies or anything to do with the reloader itself. And before you're finished with your sentence, they already have the shit in the mail and are sending you parts. And like Bald was saying, you can buy one at a garage sale for $200. I know Papa's Place missed one by a couple minutes. Literally, somebody selling a full-blown, ready to go, fully maxed out 650 for $250, and he missed it by a couple minutes, literally on Craigslist where he lives. But if you buy that machine from somebody else, the warranty comes with it, and you find something, there's something wrong with it, you just give them the bare minimum information. Hey, listen, I'm pulling the handle and this is happening. I think this is broken. They'll send you a laundry list of shit for free. No charge. You don't even have to pay shipping. They will send this stuff to you and you will get it. And
just for the record, the warranty stops at 650.
Yes, it does. Warranty. At the 650, the 1050 does not have that warranty. You're right. But they support, and all the people. I think I've talked to every single person that works at Dillon at this point, and they're all great. They love doing what they do, and they love helping people.
I spent an hour one day, and the guy was super nice, and we went through on the Dillon Square B. For some reason, it was crimping my. I had some issues basically, and we went through the whole thing and talked about it. He's like, "Okay, try this, try that," and he's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Okay, I think I know what it is. I'll send it out to you." So, I mean,
well, considering you had a hard time figuring out how the snap-on plates work on the outlets, I really don't find that hard to believe.
I'm surprised your house hasn't caught on fire yet. I'm glad it hasn't.
I have an insurance.
Oh.
A good one.
Good.
Just think of it on the good side. I know it's really cold out there. It would probably melt all the snow in your driveway if it did catch on fire.
Yeah, you can pull out of the garage.
There you go.
So I'm hoping Rob's kidding, but the 4150 said he has to be screwing off, saying Rich got banned from YouTube.
Yeah, he put out a video. He's just dicking around.
Oh. Yeah, that would suck. You guys got any questions out there in the external? These guys can help answer them. I'm new to the 650.
Fuzzy Fork puts out, why are they naming all the children, both the boys and the girls, Dillon, blah, blah, blah. Why not Lee or CBS or Lyman? I actually have zero experience with any of them. I have a RCBS Rock Checker 4 that I used to use as a Precision 308 reloader. And I found that my 1050s can make the same quality of ammo without the single stage nightmare. I know less. Papa's Place uses a Lee. I don't know what's the name of the damn thing. They're progressive.
Materica?
And
the nicer one.
He loves it. He loves it. There's nothing wrong with it. But this, I really don't have an opinion because I have never used them. I'm a blue Kool-Aid drinking fool, and that's all I know. So that's all there is to that. But that's all there is. I'm not going to say anything about the machines because I don't know about the machines.
Yeah, what is it called? The Lock and Loaded or something?
Loadmaster. Lee Loadmaster.
Loadmaster?
Yep.
That one. Yeah.
And I think what's the one Don's using? Trees are blowing. He just bought one.
Well, I had experience with a coronary progressive, lead progressive. You know, I wind up with a Dillon, so that should pretty much speak for itself. And when it comes to progressive, the Loadmaster is a good press if you like to tinker. Because you have to tinker with that thing the whole time.
That's
No matter how you set it up and whatnot, there's always gonna be whatever you gotta tinker with it. The Dillon, if something's wrong, if it's not cranking up the bullets, it means something's loose, or you missed something, or whatever. The Loadmaster, there's always little tiny things you gotta tinker with the whole time.
We got a question out there by Stump Greenwood. He's saying, how many 9mm can you make with the 650 in an hour? I'll give you what it says specifications on here, but I don't even try to go that fast. But it's saying 600. No, the 650 is 500 to 800 rounds an hour.
Yeah, I think 600 is realistic. Once you learn the machine, get a feel for it, you know, all these progressive machines, I'd never recommend that anybody go full blast fucking straight into it and just start plowing through ammo. You need to learn the machines, just like learning to drive a car or fly a plane or anything like that. You need to get a feel for it. You need to understand, you know, when you turn the thing this way or that way, how it's going to react. When you push that handle forward, what it feels like to seat a primer. When you pull it down, what it feels like to resize a case. You need to get familiar with it so you can adapt to it and understand, okay, well, this one's, you know, I'm pushing down and I'm getting resistance and it's not normal. You know, you need to be able to diagnose what's going on with the machine. Maybe it's just a case that is a little more finicky than the other 20 that you did before that. It's not only is it a progressive press, you have to think progressively ahead of time so that you're not going to, you know, do damage to the machine or screw up any of your reloads. You have to think in advance to make sure you're doing everything right. And that takes time. Once you get through that learning curve and understand where you are in the process, once you're very familiar with the way the machine reacts to all these different problems you can have, you can do 600, 700 rounds an hour easy.
Hey, Fuzz Fork was asking about the Lee Classic turret, and this is it right here. I spent 110 bucks on it. And, you know, it's got a foam handle. You can just tell that there's not quality in here. Now, this will reload and do what you need to do and all that stuff. And it's pretty cool compared to a single stage press, but it's just very like pot metal-y, you know, very, very cheaply made. But it'll get the job done. But it was 111 bucks. But it does come where you can put a tool head on it, so you can already have stuff pre-done and set up. But it's for the quality. Now, Fuzz, if you're only gonna, you know, reload, you know, just as much as you're gonna shoot, and you're not trying to do a whole bunch, this will work fine. Is it as cool as the Dillon? No, of course not, but it will work for sure. So this is a cheap route to go.
Yeah, Highboy put a comment out. I'm not sure exactly what he means, but with the case feeder and the bullet feeder, 1 round every 7 seconds. I'm not sure what machine he's talking about, but I want to say that you can pull the handle down, and this is something I actually talked to Rick about when he was reloading on my 1050. We were doing 308, which is a lot different feeling than I think anything he's ever done before, because resizing a 308 case compared to a 9mm is completely different.
Yeah, That's a lot more
It
energy.
takes some effort, but what you don't want to do is just jerk the handle down to be fast. You want to, with equal pressure from start to stop, run that handle down with precision. I mean, it's the operator of the machine that makes the ammo. It's not the machine itself. The machine's helping you.
But every 7 seconds.
Well, let me finish here. So, to gauge time on how many rounds per second you can make, or how many rounds per minute, it's really up to the operator and how accurately the operator can handle the machine. And every 7 seconds, I don't know where that comes from, but I know with precision, once you're getting in the groove and feel the machine, and you get in this zone where you're just like feeling the machine, you can run a case every 2 seconds. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And
okay, speaking of down and up, my wife just got home and she's hurting and she needs a massage, so I gotta go and do my husbandly duties.
So you got to go down, or are you going to go down, or are you going to go up?
I'm gonna get her down and use the massager on her because her back hurts. So if you catch my drift,
yeah, whatever. TMI.
You guys have a good night.
But this is how fast a round is every time. That would have been a drop, bullet drop, nice and smooth.
Yeah, you'll see how like Rick, he's using the handle like nice and smoothly. Thank you.
Making sure the primer's seated.
Yeah.
Right now I'm not really loading anything, but this is what you would do: is you basically push this way to make sure. But that's as simple as it gets right there. I would have to be here adding a bullet projectile.
Yeah, what Pop just made a great comment out in the side chat that the longest, the thing that's really going to be the determinator of the speed at which you can reload is really how many primer tubes you have reloaded so you can reload the magazine tube on the machine. I know he has invested. I've invested. I don't know if Rick has yet to, but we have automatic primer feeders that will fill tubes for us. So what we'll do is just set a pile of 100 primers on this machine. It'll fill the tube as we're reloading. As soon as we run out of primers, we just grab that tube, fill up our primer station, put the tube back, put a new thing of primers on it, push the button, and then go back to reloading. It takes maybe 20 seconds. If you have to stop, pour a new packet of primers out on a shaker plate, and then poke them one at a time, yeah, that's going to add time as well. But that's not the machine's pace. That's the pace at which you're capable of loading. The machine is capable of loading much faster.
Yeah, and I have I fill primers with 2 different machines. One's 15 years old, and one's 13. So it works out pretty good. But you know what? In between taking the break of just loading up primers, I mean, I don't really mind it. I enjoy doing it, and it's kind of a break from changing it from this. And your fingers will get tired, especially if you're doing like 223 or something that's real thin.
Yeah, I always get cramps. I get cramps in this part of my thumb.
Yeah, right here.
From picking up little tiny bullets. Working with 45 or 308 is the easiest to deal with.
Those little tips of the bullet.
Yeah, it's irritating. Plus you have to, I always try to, like, when you get into reloading, there's so many, it's almost just like any other sport almost, where you're trying to make it as ergonomically efficient as possible. So you'll actually look for bullets in the bullet tray that are actually pointing in the right direction. You grab those first, so all you have to do is just pick it up and set it down. But some of them you have to like twist or turn over or whatever. Yeah.
Stone Greenwood's got a question out there. I think the only thing this won't load is 50 BMG. I could be mistaken, but everything you got on there, I think it will load.
Yeah, any of the long, like super long cases, I think it'll even do 338 Lapua. I know the 1050 doesn't do anything longer than the 30-06.
Oh, it won't?
Just
It won't do
no,
the
it won't.
338?
No, it won't, because the tool head and the shell plate don't separate far enough for the dies to work right. But yeah, the 1050 is definitely far more universal than or pardon me, the 650 is far more universal than the 1050. But I don't even have a 338, so, and I don't reload even 30-06 for that matter.
Basically, from the tool head height, which not the tool head height, but the actual dies coming down.
Yeah,
it's like 4.5 inches there.
You know, keeping in mind that the rifle dies are much longer.
Yeah. But from the shell plate, I would bet you could the longest you could go is 4 inches.
No, okay, so fuzzy fork, no. Any die, a die is a die is a die is a die is a die. They all have basically the same thread pitch, I want to say, for lack of a better word. You can use Lee dies, you can use Redding dies, you can use Lyman dies, you can use Dillon dies. I would say, though, on that subject, if you're going to reload rifle, which, well, that's a different subject. If you're going to reload rifle, use carbide dies, just because they're much harder steel and it's also much smoother steel. And
they're a hair pricier, but they're worth it in the end.
Well, not a hair, they're double the cost, but
they're not that much more.
They are worth it because
I got my book right here.
They are much harder steel, and you don't have to lubricate the cases themselves as much.
76.
And the less you have to lubricate, the less bullshit you have to deal with in the
76
long run.
High Boys asking, do you decap and resize on that machine? Basically, for me, I'll kind of run it through once and do that. But for the pocket primers swedge, I got just a single crank by RCBS. I think it's RCBS. That's and then SoCal, you got you just do that on the 1050, right?
What's that? I missed what you said.
I think he asked the resize and decap on the machine, or do you use a?
Yeah, a lot of people. See, it really depends on what you're shooting and how, like, literally OCD you want to get. I am not of the belief that cleaning a case after it's been deprimed is fully necessary. So I just don't, and I've never had a problem. Doesn't mean you can't do it, doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, it just means I don't do it. So in the case of like 308 or 223, I don't look at my brass to make sure it's like the right length, because I've done experiments and noticed that, you know, I can take a once fired LC 5.56 case, and after I've resized it and swaged it, shot it, and then brought it back to resize it again. Once I resize it, I stick it in the case gauge, and it's still at spec. Screw it. I'll take that same case, do the same thing. So it's now a third time shot case, run it through a case gauge, it's still at spec. fuck it. I'm not going to cut every single case I've ever used just to make sure it's in the right spec. I don't go to that minutia. People that are looking for crazy, stupid accuracy, that want to make sure they're within literally 1,000th of an inch of spec, yeah, that's their purview, but I don't go that route because I'm not that shooter. I go out and blast a bunch of stuff, bring it back, reload it.
And that's the thing is when you do go to trim it, I trim it shorter than it needs to be. You know, by a couple thousandths.
I did a test, and after resizing, I noticed that the case grew somewhere between 3 and 5 thousandths of an inch after shooting it and resizing it. And if I think the gap there is about 2/100ths of an inch, so you got a lot of stretching to go, because when you resize a rifle case, it's not stretching it literally from the neck down, it's really stretching it just the shoulder up. So it's a small piece of material that you're talking about, that is getting longer, so to speak. I just don't go into that minutia. It doesn't interest me. If I did have to do that, I do have the setup to do that, but
yeah, you got the setup.
I just don't deal with it. It doesn't make that big a difference, and even if it's oversized, it's still going to work great. Even literally by 100th or 200th of an inch oversized, it's still in the chamber. It's still going to work. You're not going to blow your gun up.
They're trying to get us over to Rich's chat. I guess his chat's up and going. But they're not learning.
Okay.
They're not learning.
Wait, Les is trying to get my attention here. I want to see what he said.
Yeah, he asked you something.
Yeah, I'm looking back.
76 high boy, I don't really have a good answer for you because I used to do everything off of my rock chucker, just to basically deprime and resize, or decap and resize.
Oh.
What's he asking?
He said, unbeknownst to him, he didn't perhaps notice that the subject of the chat was Dillon650, and his words of advice to everybody in the chat was just get a lead load master and be done with it. You're in the wrong chat, bro. But sorry, this isn't the lead load master chat.
Yeah, you gotta find the load master chat.
I don't know. Like I said earlier, I've never used any other loader other than a Dillon650, an RCBS Rock Chucker 4, and a 1050. I'm not familiar with any of them. I'm not going to speculate on any of the performance or how they work or what anything about them, because I don't know.
I do want to get that. So right now you got the Reloader dude, you got 76 High Boy, Pop's Quest, and they're running that green. It's got the handle. I can't think of what the model is.
Yeah, that's a RCBS turret press.
And then
anything green is an RCBS. Anything red is a Lee, or maybe a Hornady.
T something 5, 6. Those do look really cool. Press. I think I'm gonna have to invest in one of those just for doing some magic recipe stuff. The T turret. That's what it is.
No, Rich wants us.
I know.
How much money is
if he stops doing those stupid gaming videos?
That's a good start. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta try out the T7 turret press. I'll just spray paint that shit blue. Just kidding.
Does Redding have reloading presses? I use a lot of their dies, but Fuzzy T48 is saying that.
Actually, I have one over here.
I love my Redding competition dies. especially the micrometer seating dies. Those make life so easy when you're trying to dial in a round.
I knew you were wrong, but I was gonna not say anything.
Ah, all right. Well, I only knew. See, like I said, I'm familiar with Dillon.
I was being quiet and nice.
Well, that's stupid. Why don't you just tell us what you know?
Because I couldn't remember if it was Reading or not, and I didn't want to walk over there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one of those. I'm gonna check out that T7 turret. I just like how you can basically just, it's everything you need.
Okay, so what in your mind, well, let me rephrase that. What is going through your mind that makes you think you need that, other than the fact that you don't have one?
Well, besides not having one, no, I think it'd be good for small batches of stuff that I normally don't shoot, like 22-250 and, like, you know, more hunting rifle round kind of stuff where you're not needing a batch of 100 or 500 or 1,000.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't have to deal with switching everything out and getting all the dies set up and whatever. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, because like if I bought that tool heads for this, like really all I need is just the dies in order to load. You know, because I already got the powder, you know, everything I basically would need, except it would be nice to not have to do the single stage where you're sitting in there. Like, I know the reloader dude, he basically does two different things at the same time with the same shell. So he's doing one less work instead of like swedging, you know, he's doing a couple things. So he'll do the press, click it over one. So he's like basically resizing and priming, and then he's swedging the neck. You know what I mean? And then those can all be done. And then his next thing would be powder and seating the bullet and crimping it.
All right, so, swaging is a primer pocket, not the neck. The other end.
No. I mean beveling it out, or
you don't bell rifle cases.
No, not for.
You expand them, but you don't bell them.
Got it. It's flaring it out a little bit to seat the bullet.
Oh, for pistol, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm new.
I'm new here.
I'm new.
I'm new here.
Come over, guys. We will give you a free gun. Only if he doesn't do any more gaming videos.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta go anyway, just because
I do too.
I haven't eaten and I'm hungry and I haven't even started cooking yet. So, dogs gotta eat.
Dogs gotta eat. Thanks, you guys, for showing up.
Yeah, thanks everybody in the live chat or the side chat for listening.
Go over and watch Rich 4150's. What do they call it? Free for all. Definitely appreciate it.
Maybe it's free for 10. Free for 10.
Free for 10. Yeah, that's right. All right. So see you guys. Have a good one. You want to tell these wonderful people out here anything before we?
Do you like cooking? Go to Big Meat Sunday. You like reloading? Go to my channel that is here and now.
WTF.
And yeah. And well, no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
And if you want to watch some more related,
yeah.
Go check out 76 High Boy.
Resist.
And other than that, have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and see you on the next video. Peace out.
Night, guys.